6 and 5, brought to you by Talking Rocks Cavern. Explore the beauty above and below ground at Talking Rocks Cavern. The Springfield Greene County Park Board reminding you to go play, and Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
And good morning to you on Hump Day. We made it to Wednesday. The good news is it's going to warm up a little bit today, and this starts the warm up until like Friday.
Yes, I mean,
it's cold again.
Warm up is a relative term, but yes, I guess it's better than it was.
Yeah, when it's been below 15 for several days.
Right.
20's fantastic.
Yes. All right. Here's the look at the news. We've been anticipating it for a few weeks. Now it's official. The Springfield Public School Board voted to make some pretty big changes. The district will close Robertson Elementary School at the end of this school year. Robertson is 119 years old. That's crazy. The school board voted. The vote was 7-0 after some people spoke out at the meeting opposing the closure. The remaining 150 students at Robertson will attend Boyd Elementary. The school board also voted to move Pershing Elementary School students to other elementary schools. The vote was also 7-0 after a handful of citizens urged the board to keep that school open. That means roughly 160 elementary students will move from Pershing to either Wilder or Field elementary schools. Pershing will become a middle school only at the end of the 25-26 school year.
Yeah, you saw this coming. I feel bad for the people who are going to have to move because there's such an emotional attachment to their school and their teachers and those sorts of things. I actually watched the school board meetings last night on there was a link on Twitter, I think. Anyway, there's a link on it. So I watched it live on YouTube and I watched it play out so I could write these stories. And, they made impassioned pleas to keep their schools open and keep their kids going there. But I think finances was one of the things, and the bond issue that passed, the school board, they were 7-0 votes both ways. So they felt like this is the best thing for the district going forward. But
right. Well, and they paid a company to come in, non-emotional,
consultant,
just like consultant, to look at it. And that's what they recommended. Funny that you watched the school board meeting.
I did. I hadn't done that in years.
I have to, there was a day in yesteryear where I had to go to the school board meetings, and I just say hats off, sir. Good job.
They're like, it's like city council meetings. They can be long.
No, city council is more interesting than school board. I can assure you.
Laborious. Well, not when people are, it's the same. It's exactly like city council whenever people are getting up and having 3 minutes to speak and make an argument.
Yes.
So it was exactly like a city council meeting in that regard. Anyway, that's what's going on with the school district. The state of Iowa, as you know, held its Republican caucus this week. Trump ran away with that. But did you know that Missouri will hold caucuses this year for the first time ever? In March, Republicans will caucus on the first Saturday of the month and choose Missouri's choice for the Republican ticket that way, which is interesting. Each of the state's 114 counties will have a spot, a place, a venue for voters to gather, and then basically spend the next several hours, maybe the whole day, debating the support of their candidates until they take a vote. To be part of it, you must only be a registered voter in your county where you caucus and then sign up ahead of time. Democrats, meanwhile, will hold a vote for their candidate largely with mail-in ballots. So it's new on both sides, caucus and then kind of a mail-in thing with a little bit of in-person voting.
Republicans will caucus in their county for the first time ever in Missouri. I felt like you had a weird connectivity issue. And then Democrats will hold a vote for their candidate with mail-in ballots primarily. That is very interesting.
There will be some in person, but that'll come later, also in March.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think there'll be a lot of people who want to go caucus because why not?
I would. You know why? Because you learn a lot from one of those. You learn a lot about other people who've done their homework but your homework looks different than their homework often when you're studying issues and candidates. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to find something more fascinating than I do, and I something more than you. And so then you learn from each other what the other person found out. And I think I love exit interviews always at polling places. And exit interviews would be similar to a caucus, because it's, why are you voting the way you're voting?
Yeah, I'd like to be a fly on the wall, honestly, and just listen in to see. I mean, I don't know how many people go into those with open minds. I think you go in with a candidate that you're supporting, you argue for that, and then eventually there's a vote, I think is how it happens, and your candidate wins or loses.
I don't know. I think for the last couple of election cycles, people have been willing to, I mean, within their party, but have been willing to listen to just discussion, you know?
Well, I hope so. Discussion is good. I feel like as a country, we're moving past discussion. You can't have discussions anymore, but let's get back to discussions and debates, and it's healthy. So let's do it. And former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson is now out of the race for president. Many of you probably didn't even know he was in it, because his campaign never gained any traction. He garnered less than 0.5% of the vote in Iowa. Pretty dismal. He, of course, has been very critical of former President Trump, who collected 51% of the vote in Iowa on Monday.
All right. Now to this, we've told you that Panera Bread, which is headquartered in the St. Louis area, is being sued for the wrongful death, it claims, over the caffeinated lemonade that they sell. Panera's charged lemonade, as it's called, is accused of causing the death of a 21-year-old college student who drank it. That student had a pre-existing heart condition. The lawsuit claims Panera didn't advertise the drink as an energy drink. Panera is requesting a jury trial rather than a bench trial. The jury, of course, is the people in the courtroom. A bench trial is just with the judge. All right, the Springfield Art Museum is planning its future and is asking for your ideas. It's holding a public meeting to gather input on Monday from 5:30 to 7:30 at the museum.
Okay. And don't look now, but Springfield is just about to become a 3 Chick-fil-A town. Talking about standalone restaurants. Tomorrow at 6 a.m., the newest Chick-fil-A will open in North Springfield on North Glenstone, right near Interstate 44 there, right next to the new Whataburger. So it's going to be a popular spot, that intersection. There are also Chick-fil-A. There's also the South Glenstone Chick-fil-A, the Sunshine Chick-fil-A. Those are all standalone. And then there are 2 other Chick-fil-A's that are inside locations, one at the Battlefield Mall, the other at Plaster Student Union on Missouri State's campus. So
that's right.
Plenty. And Branson now has 2. They just opened their second one. So there's lots of places to get chicken.
Yeah, they're taking over. Springfield is getting another coffee shop as well. Black Lab Coffee, which is based in Republic, is planning a location in Springfield near the Sam's Club on South Campbell. In addition to coffee drinks and smoothies, that location will offer adult beverages in the evening hours.
That's a little bit. I think they're going to close in the afternoon and then reopen once it gets dark. The end of an era is now within sight. The Ozark Mountain Daredevils are planning to retire. But before they do, the Daredevils will have a farewell tour. It starts in March. They'll wrap up in November of 2025. The Daredevils have been together for more than 50 years and have called Springfield home for a lot of that time. It's crazy. They've got so many albums, so many songs. It's just a long time to be together as a band. It's a big band. They've got a lot of people in it, a lot of guys.
Yeah. Yep. Meanwhile,
American icon Willie Nelson is still touring at the age of 90 and is coming back. He just had his big birthday celebration out at the Hollywood Bowl, and a lot of big names sang duets with him, sang his songs. He was there. He performed.
How did he do?
And it was on TV.
How did
he
Willie
sits
do?
down now? He sits down to play. He's great at the guitar. His voice is weak, but his voice has been weakening for for a decade, it seems. So
yeah.
But he can play that guitar still.
Old,
and it's that
man.
same old guitar.
Yeah.
It's that same old guitar.
Do you remember going to see Merle Haggard together? Did we go together? Was that?
No, you went. That was before me.
I was with my college friends, I think. I had to remind Merle of the words to his songs.
Yeah. Well, he was lit up. Was that it?
There was a little bit of Liquid Courage going on. But I was like, I'm here to hear you, not me. I can't carry a tune in a bucket. So I was just wondering how Willie did because, I don't know, of that era, you know?
Willie, for the last several years, has been kind of talking his songs.
Yeah. He can get away with that, though, if anyone can.
But he's great. He's Willie Nelson, man.
Yeah, he's Willie Nelson. Come on. Do you remember when the Pancake House in Springfield, Aunt Martha's, remember on Cherokee and Glenstone?
We used to go there every weekend.
They, I think Willie Nelson, I hope I'm not wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that at one point he was like a dish boy there.
He was a dishwasher at Aunt Martha's. That's why I said he's coming back to the Ozarks.
Yeah,
he was trying to. This was in the 50s, and he was trying to get on the KY3 show, which had a national audience. It was syndicated, Ozarks Jubilee. So he came to town for that.
I remember that now. Yes, this is why I know this story. Okay,
at Aunt Martha's. Yeah, it's a great story. So anyway, Willie Nelson will play the Ozarks Amphitheater in Camdenton on May 26th, and tickets go on sale today at 10 a.m. So
are you buying one?
Interested in that? I don't know. I might. I don't know. It's kind of a hike to get there.
Ethan's a sucker for live music.
I do like concerts. I got to shake Willie Nelson's hand once, and I saw him in concert in Las Vegas.
And President George W. waved at Ethan once, just Ethan in a crowd. Just like this.
It wasn't a crowd. It was just me.
Yeah. With a camera, with the news camera.
I was standing next to the cameras.
Yeah. But he waved. So Willie Nelson tickets on sale today at 10. Yeah, that's exciting. We'll see. We shall see. Okay, here is the last story for you. You know, Costco. Who doesn't love Costco, by the way? If you haven't been, I'm just telling you. When you go in, you flash your membership card, sort of like I still do at Sam's. I don't even know if Sam's requires it, but I do it. I just flash the card. But apparently at Costco, they don't like it. They say that people are sharing their cards. They're sharing their membership card, and they say no more. So Costco's testing a new way to crack down on membership sharing by scanning cards. When you walk in, they'll have a machine to scan the card. Costco's testing it out at a handful of stores to see if they help. The scanners also mean employees don't need to ask customers for their membership card at the cash register for self-checkout. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work exactly. I think what happens is that they have now on the Costco card, if you haven't already, they'll make you, but your picture is on it. They want your picture on the Costco card so you can't hand it to somebody else and somebody come in and use your card.
Right.
So if you scan it, I don't know if it's an AI thing where, if it's not you, if the picture doesn't match, that they have you arrested on the spot or throw you out or what. But then at the end, I'm fairly certain you'll still have to scan your card so that your receipts are in order. They know how much you spent at Costco if you're on one of those plans where you get money back. So I think at the end, you'll still have to scan, but you may not have to give it to them. You may just scan it in the little machine where you scan your debit card. I don't know.
There you go.
But everything's changing. We talked about Sam's Club using AI to check carts.
I know, because I remember I called you a hypocrite because you're like, oh yeah, this is great. But then for other AI jobs, you're like, robots are going to take over the world and it's going to be terrible. And that's also true.
Well, I'm more interested in getting it out of Sam's Club quickly.
I know.
Robots are going to take over the world. I can't stop it.
Yeah, that's true.
But if I can get out of Sam's quickly, that gives me a little more time in my day.
All right, everybody, bundle up. I mean, warmer, but still freezing cold. So check out Abby's Wake Up Weather, and she'll have details on that forecast.
Deets, as the kids call them, and we will see you tomorrow. So.
Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Wednesday. It's January 17th, and there are still some trouble spots along the outer roads here in the Ozarks from snowfall that's remaining from just the other night. So take it slow this morning. Watch for some slick spots. But overall today, the message that I have for you is improving conditions. Temperatures are positive too. So that is a good news. It's around 5 degrees in most locations as of 5 a.m. this morning, but we are heading above the freezing point today. And that's an accomplishment for us because we've been below freezing now since last week on Friday. I mean, it has been a brutally cold stretch across the Ozarks. Of course, we've had the couple rounds of winter weather. Today, we get the sunshine, we get a southwest wind, and temperatures will be above freezing. Not by much. We're going to be in the mid and upper 30s. It's not going to be this warm, balmy day, but it is an improvement, and that's the good news. And I think we'll do at least a little bit of melting today. We should see some improvement on some of those area roadways, so we will take it on this Wednesday. Above freezing, that's the big headline for you, but we are not without cold weather or even the chance for winter weather for long. I do have another chance for winter weather in the forecast. I'll talk about that in just a second, but first, let's focus on the good news, shall we? Today, we get the sunshine. Temperatures will be in the mid and upper 30s. I have 37 degrees for the high temperature forecast in Springfield today. High pressure in control of our weather pattern and a southwest wind that may feel gusty at times. So even though I have the high temperature warming to about 37, it'll feel more like 30, even upper 20s as winds could gust close to 20 miles an hour. Another push of cold air is going to arrive Thursday night into Friday, and this is where the next best chance for winter weather comes in. I don't think it's for everybody. In fact, I think Springfield, we are out of this one, Northern Arkansas out of this one. This is likely going to be for central Missouri. There's this potential for some more accumulating snowfall up along I-70. Heads up, this is likely going to be out there as we head into Thursday. So it's something to watch if you have any travel planned. I know you had some slick roadways up near Lake of the Ozarks, and some of those still remain residential places that do not have any pre-treatment down. There are still some slick spots. We're going to put down another little coating of winter weather on top of that as we head into Thursday. This is not looking like a big event. Once again, I think it's around an inch or less up in our northernmost counties, and at least at this point, I think Springfield is out of this one. So good news for us in town. Warmer weather, though, in the forecast when we look beyond the weekend. There's a signal that we actually end the month of January warmer than average, which would be fantastic because it has been a long, cold couple of weeks here in the Ozarks, and we are going to see our normal high temperatures in the mid 40s return for the end of the month. So this is likely going to begin January 23rd timeframe through the end of the month, and we may start February off on a warmer than average note. It also does appear like we could see several opportunities for some precipitation, which is not all that uncommon in a February El Nino year. So the timeline, it looks like this. We have temperatures today in the upper 30s. I have 37 degrees in Springfield, plenty of sunshine for you. Tonight we'll be back down below the freezing point. So any melting that we do today, if there are wet areas on the roadways, it's likely to refreeze again tonight. So we're not done with the black ice each and every morning in the Ozarks. Chance for light snow across central Missouri then exists on Thursday. High temperatures there near 40 for the Springfield area. That's tomorrow. And then we go back into the freezer as we head into the end of the work week. We just can't catch a break. Another push of Arctic air is going to head our direction by Friday and Saturday. Temperatures fall back to near 20 degrees for the high temperature on Friday. We're in the mid 20s on Saturday. And then next week is looking a bit more comfortable for us around the Ozarks. Out in the Rockies, heavy snowfall is making headlines, and the ski resorts, they are hopping. There's a lot of people excited about the fresh powder happening out in the Mountain West. We have another Arctic blast heading into the center part of the country. That's going to impact us here in the Ozarks too. It's responsible for our cool down for the weekend. And there's even some ice potential for the Pacific Northwest. It's something to watch. Early next week, there's at least some signal that we could have a little bit of freezing rain into sleep, but it's way too early to start trying to nail that down. I just want to give you a very early heads up on that. All right, it is time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister question for the day. This one, have you heard of this word? Someone with dysania has a hard time doing what? And the options were A, going to the doctor, B, getting out of bed, C, reading a dictionary, or D, walking on a treadmill? The answer is B, getting out of bed. Someone with dysania has a hard time getting out of bed. So I think we all may be suffering from a bit of dysania. I know I have the last couple of mornings. Wow. When it's so cold and there's snow on the ground, it makes it even harder, doesn't it, to get out of your warm bed? Ugh, B is the answer today. Congrats to everybody that picked that. If you are looking at the question for tomorrow, you want to head on over to the website and enter there. Here it is. If you could drive straight upward at 60 miles an hour, how long would it take you to get to space? If you could drive your car straight up 60 miles an hour, how long until you reach space? Do you think it is A, 1 hour, B, 5 hours, C, 1 day, or D, 5 days? Let me know your guess. You can enter again over at aroundtheozarks.com. What do you win? A $20 gift card to Scooter's Coffee. Start the morning this week with a nice hot cup of coffee. Sounds about pretty good right about now. Thanks to our sponsors, Scooter's Coffee and Rescue Towing. And thank you for listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather today. Sunshine, 37 degrees, and we will see a strong southwest wind in the forecast today. So you need to bundle up. Stay warm, everybody, and we will chat again early tomorrow morning.